Hi there, my name is Juji Evans, and welcome to my free introduction to the Human Design System. I've been a human design reader for a number of years now, and I'm really excited to make this system easy, accessible, and simple to understand because it is very deep and has a lot of different layers to it. If you want to know more about human design beyond the 4 views, which is what we'll be covering in this 4-part masterclass, I do also have mini courses that you can get into about the nutritional aspect of human design. I also created the Conscious Connection workshop series, which is about how we connect to others and how we bond with others, how to read charts that are overlaid with each other, which we called composites. I also have workshops about the body graph, the neutrino stream, i.e. the transits and how planets affect us. You can buy them individually, or you can get a complete bundle in the Human Design Master Suite for only $88. That's 30 workshops and 30 workbooks that you can download. Or you can join the Beehive, which is my online community for women. You'll get access to all 30 of those workshops and the workbooks, and you'll have a weekly Zoom call with me where you can ask questions and we can talk about human design and other aspects of spirituality, along with a group chat that you get put into where you can ask questions anytime you'd like. This workshop is intended for you to have an easier time understanding your own chart or the charts of those around you. And we're going to start by exploring the aura types. There are 4 aura types in human design. But before we get into all of that, I like to give people some context for why this system was brought to us, why now, how did it get here. So let's start by talking about Ra Uru Hu. This is the man who brought us human design. He was living on the island of Ibiza in 1987 when he had a 9-day experience wherein he was given this information. He didn't channel it. It was placed in him. And in fact, there's an amazing documentary about this called Encounter with the Voice, because he talks about a voice that came and told him that it was time for him to work. And work he did. He put down all of this information, and his first public lecture about human design was in 1992. He certified 20 people in Vienna to go and disseminate this information, and one of those men gave my teacher his first reading. And then, of course, I ended up meeting the information in 2018. So that's how it got to me. And if you are watching this, it has now gotten to you. So Ra was the one who brought us the information, and along with the mechanics of how we are designed to move through the world, he was given information about why. So according to human design, we had an upgrade in our consciousness in 1781, and we went from being 7-centered beings, as you can see on the left-hand side of this slide. You know, we all know the 7 chakra configuration that goes from top to bottom, and we mutated into 9-centered beings at this time, except nobody really got the memo, right? So we went actually from living an average 35-year life cycle to living an average 84-year life cycle. We went from being Saturnian in nature, Saturn takes about 30 years to go around the sun, to Uranian, which is about 84 years for Uranus to go around the sun. And because we had this upgrade and we started living longer, we started to have to adapt to these longer lives. That's why there have been so many medical advancements around health and keeping us healthy for a longer period of time. And we are also carrying forward a lot of the old traditions from the 7-centered beings that are actually no longer serving us. So when we talk about human design, we're talking about a new species, a new way of being that is a lot less about the tribe and fitting in and much more about being individuals. It's a lot more about individuation. That's why it's called the science of differentiation. So we're really here to understand that we're here to usher in a new paradigm. And that's why human design was gifted to us, so that we have tools to do that. So what is included in human design? Well, human design is a synthesis of a lot of different Eastern and Western spiritual and scientific studies. It starts with the Chinese I Ching, the mandala, the chakra system, the Hindu Brahmin chakra system, the Kabbalah, tree of life, Eastern and Western astrology, genetic mapping, and astrophysics by which we are imprinted. So the synthesis of all of these different things means that they do not appear in their original form. It takes from all of these different systems and is synthesized into the chart that we see in the middle here. And it starts by understanding that each of these charts has what we call aura mechanics. So that's where we start in human design. All right, so we start with the generator aura type, which is about 70% of the population. Or if you're a manifesting generator, you are a subtype of a generator. So all of the same things apply to you. So the generator aura type is designed to wait to respond to life as it comes to us. We've been conditioned from an early age to go out and initiate our life, to make it happen, to go out and just do it. But most of us are not designed to initiate on the physical plane. Instead, we have open and enveloping auras that are designed to pull things into our auric field, and we have an opportunity to respond to them. So what makes anybody a generator aura type is that we have the sacral center, the second square from the bottom, defined or colored in. When you have definition in your chart, it means that is where you are consistent and reliable. And the sacral center is a source of energy. You know, the generator aura type is like a battery. We're like these little energizer bunnies. We just keep going and going, and we're here to release that energy in a satisfying way. That is the signature of a generator, satisfaction. We're here to be satisfied doing work that we love. We're not here to try and chase anything down. We're here to attract it into our lives. And when you're able to respond with your energy and decide whether it's correct for you to use your energy for something, things just tend to fall into place. And we can experience the satisfaction, pass out at the end of the day, recharge, and do it all over again. But when we're initiating our energy or responding to things that are not correct for us, we meet resistance on the physical plane, and we experience our not self theme, which is frustration. So how can you tune into when something is correct for you? Well, the sacral center makes noises. If you tune into your sacral, you can hear yourself going, yes, when you are being pulled towards something. And when something is a no, it's more like a non-movement. It's a no. So when you tune in to these noises that your body makes, these yes and no's, it makes it a lot easier for you to determine whether you want to use your energy for something. The other thing that can create frustration for us is when something comes to us in an open-ended way, right? So our sacral doesn't have the opportunity to make noises when you get asked questions like, what do you want to do? The possibilities in that case are endless. And that's when your mind jumps in and goes, we should do this and we should do that. But if somebody asks you, do you want to do something? Do you want to hang out tonight? Do you want to go see a movie? You can hear yourself go, or So whenever possible, as a generator or a type, you are here to ask people to phrase things in a yes or no manner, which is not easy, even though it sounds simple, because we're just not used to phrasing things in that way. But that is what really creates an ease and flow for the generator or a type. But we haven't been taught from the beginning how to do this. So human design reveals to us that when we follow the mechanics of our aura, we can realign to our true nature and meet a lot less resistance out there in the world. But first, you need to know what that means. All right, so we covered the generator aura type, which is, again, 70% of the population. And now we move on to the projectors, who are about 20% of the population. Projectors are very different than generators. As you can see, the sacral center is not defined. They are not considered. energy types. Instead, I like to call them awareness types. Projectors have what we call a focused and absorbing aura. They are designed to focus on each individual person in front of them one at a time and kind of read their energy, right? So when a projector is focused on you in a one-on-one setting, they are able to ascertain whether or not you are a frustrated generator or a satisfied generator. And they are designed to understand how to move this energy around in order to create more satisfaction, in order to waste less energy, because generators tend to waste a lot of energy. And they're here to ask really amazing yes or no questions in order for them to get us to cooperate in a way that's more functional, to release energy in a way that's more satisfying for us. But the caveat to this is that they are designed to be invited to do this. So first, the projector needs to be recognized as somebody who can help manage this energy better. They need to be recognized as somebody who understands the systems that these generators are trying so hard to put into place, but that they can naturally see. And then they're here to be invited to guide the energy. But when that invitation is not there and the projector is trying to guide without an invitation, that's when they meet resistance and experience their not self theme, which is bitterness. You know, bitterness is like a bad taste in your mouth. It creates a lot of dissonance and resentment within the projector when they either see that the generator is wasting a lot of energy and not asking for guidance, or when the generator asks for guidance and then doesn't take it. So projectors are here to wait for that invitation, wait for the generators who are ready for their guidance. And once they have guided the energy in a way that is more functional and feels better for all, they can experience their signature, which is success. And success is one of those words in our collective consciousness that really feels like it's a monetary success, but projectors can feel success in a lot of different ways. It's not just through compensation. Although if money is energy and projectors are here to see energy, they are here to see how they can make the most money without expending so much of their energy. Like, generators love working a 9-to-5 job so that they have a place to go and spend a lot of time with their energy, whereas projectors are here to work in smaller bursts and can probably get twice as much done in a shorter period of time. So again, projectors are not here to try and keep up with this generator culture of go, go, go and do, do, do. It's about relaxing into your gifts, understanding how to move that energy, being able to wait for that invitation because when it shows up, it's so juicy, and understanding that we each have a role to play in this world, in this lifetime, and keeping up with the energy is never going to serve you as a projector. And speaking of taking other people's roles, we move on to the manifestor aura type, which is all about going out and making your life happen, which is what we are all conditioned to do, although manifestors are only about 9% of the population. And because they are designed to have impact with their auric fields, they have what we call a closed and repelling aura. The closed aura has a quality of repelling because it needs to be protected when it is having its impact. So the manifestor recommendation is to inform others of what you're going to do before you do it. Because if you don't, you meet resistance from others who are upset with you that you didn't tell them about something that was going to impact them directly. And even though this recommendation or this strategy for the manifestor aura type isn't natural, when you as a manifestor learn to let others know what's going on before you do it, it really helps clear the way for your impact. It really helps people get out of your way so that you can do what you need to do. And the resistance is alleviated. So when manifestors meet resistance, they experience their not self theme, which is anger. And anger isn't something that manifestors are here to hold on to. You're here to release it in a way that's healthy, whether that's, going out and screaming or doing something to move your body, but it's here to move through. It's not really here to be directed at anybody in particular. And once you've moved through it, you can go out and make the impact that you want to make. And when people are getting out of your way because you were doing a good job informing them, then you can experience your signature, which is peace. That is all a manifestor wants, is to be left alone in peace to do what they need to do. And this doesn't mean that manifestors don't want to connect to other people. We will talk about what it means to connect to others through your definition in the chart at a later point in this masterclass. But because they have a closed aura, a lot of the time people feel like it's hard to reach them. Like it's hard to kind of get in there and understand what's going on for them. And there's nothing wrong or bad about this. It's just, again, we each have our own auric field. We each have our own ways of being. And the manifestor, being such a small percentage of the population, is unusual for us with either our focused and absorbing auras or our open and enveloping auras. And the final aura type, the reflector, also has a closed aura, except the closed aura of a reflector is more sampling and resistant than repelling. So reflectors, as you can see, are very unique. They are only about 1% of the population, and they do not have any defined centers in their chart, which would make them fairly vulnerable to others, which is why their closed resistant auras keep them safe. And they get to sample each other aura type. They get to experience what it's like being a generator MG, a projector, and a manifestor, but not to live out any one of those aura types. So because they have such an open chart, the moon's movements have a great impact on the reflector's auric connections. And that is why the recommendation is for reflectors to wait a full lunar cycle before making any major decisions, so that they can go through one or even a couple of those cycles before they make a move, before they move forward with any of these big decisions. And as the reflector title would suggest, reflectors are here to reflect us back to us. They are mirrors for the communities that they live in, or the collective consciousness that they are reflecting back to us in a neutral way. We might not like what they're reflecting to us, but they are not caught up in trying to change anything or make anything better or different. However, reflectors do enjoy being around people who are living life correctly as themselves, because they are experiencing all of those not self themes of frustration, bitterness, and anger. And when they're experiencing that a lot, they are disappointed. That is the reflector not self theme. The signature of a reflector is surprise. Surprise and delight about somebody living uniquely as themselves, doing their own thing, being a fully expressed version of themselves. And that's why reflectors tend to have a lot of different kinds of friendship groups. They tend to have a lot of different people that they are friends with that wouldn't necessarily be friends with each other. And because they are reflecting communities and spaces back to us in a neutral way, if a reflector is in a group, all you have to do is look to see how they are responding in that situation to know whether or not you are creating a functional, good space for people. They're like the canary in the coal mine, we like to say. All right, guys, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching my Introduction to Human Design, the first part of this masterclass about the aura types. If you want to get access to my free chart program, just go to hdbyz.com/individual, and you can download as many free charts as you'd like. Grab your chart, grab your family's chart, and follow along with this workshop. And if you have any questions, feel free to email me, hello@hdbyz.com. I'd love to answer anything for you. And stay tuned for the next 3 parts of this incredible series. Until next time, ciao for now.